In today's lesson, lesson 2.7, our title is Use and Make Line Plots. And our essential question is, how can you read and interpret data in a line plot and use data to make a line plot? So a line plot uses marks to record each piece of data above a number line. It helps you see groups in the data. Some students took a survey of the number of letters in their first names. Then they recorded the data in a line plot. How many students have 6 letters in their first names? Okay, so let's understand the different parts of a line plot first. So we have numbers of letters in our first names. That's what's being counted. Each X stands for 1 student. So this will be 2 students. And over here it says the numbers show the number of letters in a name. So we have students with 3 letters and students with 8 letters in their names. So here we have 2 students that have 3 letters in their names. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X's here. So there are 5 students with 4 letters in their names. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students with 5 letters in their name. 1, 2, 3, 4 students with 6 letters in their name. We have 1 student that has 7 letters in their name. And we have 2 students that have 8 letters in their name. All right, so find 6 on the number line. There's 6, and the 6 stands for 6 letters in the name. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 X's above the 6. So 4 students have 6 letters in their names. Easy as that. Which number of letters was found most often? So here would be the one that has the most X's. And so that would be right here. So 5. 5 students, sorry, the most students had 5 letters in their names. Write a sentence to describe the data. Most students had between 4 and 6 letters in their first name. So most of the data is right here, grouped here in 4 through 6. You can come up with any other sentence. You could say the least number that students have in their names based on our class is 7 letters in their first name. We could say the least number of letters in a person's name is 3. The most in a person's name is 8. So any possibility. So it's just based on what's represented in the data. How many letters are in your first name? Well, what's your first name? And tell me the letters. So mine has 5. Put an X above the number of letters in your first name. So I match the typical data. What does the shape of the data show you? The shape of the data shows us that most students have 4 through 6 letters in their first name. All right, so let's move on to our next page. Page 90. Okay, so on page 90, we really can't do this activity as far as individually and based on us, but I'm going to give you some numbers and we'll go from there. So we're going to say 49 inches is our least. and 56 students, or 56 number of inches the highest. So then we'll fill this in as 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Okay, and then we're going to have tallies. We're going to say one student is 49 inches. Sorry about the glare. Okay, we're going to put 4 tally marks at 50 inches. We're going to say no students have 51. We're going to say 6 tally marks for 52 inches. 7 tally marks for 53 inches. 4 for 54. 2 for 55, and let's put 1 for 56. All right, so step 1, record the height in the table. We did. Write a title below the number line to describe your line plot. So we're measuring height in inches. Our smallest number, write the number of inches in order from left to right above the title. 49 inches was the smallest, and we're just going to go across 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Now, step 4, draw X's above the number line to show each student's height. Okay, so 49, there was only 1 tally mark. 50, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I should draw 4 X's to represent those students. 51 doesn't have any, so I'm not going to put any X's. 52, we said was 6. So 52, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 53, 7. 54, 4. 55, 2. And 56 is 1. So which height appears the most? And we look at our line plot and we see 53 inches. And we know that remember the X's represent the number of students that are that tall. Which height appears least often? 51 would be one that doesn't show up at all, but we're going to base it on the X's. So that would be 49 and 56. 51 doesn't appear at all. That's the reason we're not counting that as the least. The one that shows up the least amount are 49 and 56, because there are one student has those heights. Complete the sentence. Most of the students in the class are 52 inches or taller. Is there any height for which there are no data? Yes. So is there any height for which there are no data? Yes. There's no X's above 51, so there's no students with that height. The shape of the data tells us that most of the students in this class are between 52 and 54 inches tall. All right, so again, because this is virtually, and I'm just kind of showing you how to do this, I'm just going to give you some numbers again for what you should be doing. Measure the length of 3 drawing tools from your desk to the nearest inch. Combine your data with several other classmates. Record the lengths in the table. Okay, so you would measure any 3 drawing tools from your desk, take 5 or 6 other students, and we would record the data. So hypothetically, let's say there was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches possible of the drawing tools that we came up with. And we had, one of you had something that was 3 inches, 3 that had 4 inches, maybe 2 students had something that was 5 inches, maybe most of them were 6 inches, and maybe something like that. So whatever your numbers are, you put tally marks just like this, okay? And then on the long line, that would be the title of our line plot, and the title is always what we're measuring or counting. So this, in this case, is length in inches, and our smallest number is 3. Our largest number is 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So length in inches. So some items were 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. How many were 3 inches? 1. So the X here represents one drawing tool that was 3 inches. 4. 1, 2, 3. So this tells me that there were, because there's 3 X's, each X represents a drawing tool. So there were 3 drawing tools that were 4 inches. 5 inches, there were 2 drawing tools. 6, there was 5. And 7, let's say there was 4. Okay? And this is all based on the data. So 1, 1x. 3 tally marks, 3 x's. 2 tally marks, 2 x's. 5 tally marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. And 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. Which length appears most often? Which number has the most x's? And that would be 6. So 6 inches. Use the line plot at the right for numbers 4 through 6. So we have height of avocado plants in inches, and our smallest plant was 6 inches. Our tallest plant was 12 inches. All right, so use appropriate tools. Garden club members record the height of their avocado plants to the nearest inch in a line plot. Write a sentence to describe what the line plot shows. Well, I see that the least amount was 12. So we could say the plant heights were between 6 and 12. We could say most of the plants were the height of plants with the greatest number of plants at that height were 8. 8 inches was the most. Most of the plants were between 6 and 9. So if we have this group and this group, we would say most of the plants are between 6 and 9 inches. So I think that's what I'm going to write. Most So most of the avocado plants were between 6 and 9 inches in height. You could just as easily say The least amount of plants were between 10 and 12 inches tall. So there's no one answer based on this graph. You can interpret it any way you choose to. Okay, how many more plants are 8 or 9 inches than are 6 or 7? How many more tells me subtract. This word right here, or, is like an and so that would be plus and plus. So we're going to add 8 and 9. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 9 inches, 1, 2, 3. So there were 8 plants that were 8 or 9 inches. And now we have to find 6 or 7. 6 was 3. 7 was 3. Add that together, we have 6. So 6 plants were 6 or 7 inches. Now our question says how many more plants? So that now we get to subtraction. So 8 take away 6. It just gives us 2. So 2 more plants were 8 or 9 inches than 6 or 7 inches tall. There were 8 plants that were 8 or 9 inches, and 6 plants were 6 or 7 inches tall. 8 take away 6 equals 2. So basically we're just explaining what we did. How many plants are taller than 8 inches? Okay, so 8 is not taller than 8. So we're looking at everything to the right of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plants. Okay, page 92. Make an inference. So an inference is basically kind of like a guess. We predict or infer what's happening based on the information we are given. So Addison made the line plot below to show the high temperature every day for 1 month. What inference can you make? What conclusion can you make about what season this is? And so daily high temperatures, and we see this lowest temperature was 101, and the highest was 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, we should know from temperatures that anything above 100 degrees is pretty warm. So that's one clue right there. When we get into like the 20s and 30s and 40s Fahrenheit, those are our cold winter weather. So when you combine what you see with what you already know to come up with an idea, you're making an inference. So this is the data I'm seeing. I know that temperatures that are in the hundreds are hot. Okay, so this should help me make an inference or a conclusion. So remember that the 4 seasons are spring, summer, fall, and winter. You can use what you know about weather and the data in the line plot to make an inference about the season. You know that the numbers in the line plot are the high temperatures recorded during the month. The highest temperature recorded was 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The lowest temperature recorded was 101 degrees Fahrenheit. And the temperature recorded most often was the one that has the most X's, which is 107 degrees Fahrenheit. And since all temperatures are greater than 100, you know the days were hot. This will help you make an inference about the season. So you can infer that the season is summer. Summer has the warmest temperatures. Okay, so that's it for chapter lesson 2.7. Again, you'll now use what you've learned in this lesson to do your independent practice on lesson 2.7 online in Go Math. And as I say in every video, if you need help, you can stop and ask me, or use the pages that we just did, plus the video to help you answer the question, as the questions in the online work are similar to the ones we just completed. Okay, our next section will be doing the chapter 2 review as we get ready for our test. Okay, so until then, good luck.